Well, it is hashtag finally Friday. Welcome to the end of the work week. The weekend is nearly upon us. If you could just make it through this work day, you've got a 2-day weekend coming up. Saturday, Sunday, we'll be back on Monday, but let's get started. You're watching Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. It's Friday, July 31st. Brittany Pacheco has been on vacation all week long. We've had rotating co-hosts and back again today for some more fun. We've got Coop Snow, Frank Cooper in the house. Good morning, Frank.
What up, boss man? I'm doing good. How about yourself? Happy Friday, guys and gals.
It is finally Friday. Yeah, it's a happy Friday. Good to have you with us, Frank. We got a lot to talk about, some HCC news and information coming up later in the show.
We do. And guys, ladies and gents, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're everywhere. Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. Tune in, man. Let's grow the show.
That's right. And if you're watching this show right now, click the button on Facebook Live and share the show so we can get the information out to our HCC community. We appreciate you being here. We've got some special guests today. Of course, we're going to be talking about one of our programs, the Adult Education and Literacy Program. Minnie Jenkins joins us from that program, the program manager. Good morning, Minnie.
Good morning, Todd and everyone.
We are happy to have you with us. We're going to be with you in just a moment, but we want to kick things off right now. Did you know we have a resident poet on the show? Frank, you knew that, right?
I did, man. And Dr. Adams is one of the most talented poets I know. So when he graces us with a poem, man, people listen.
That's right. We welcome to the show Dr. Jimmy Adams, of course, the college operations officer out at HCC Northeast. Good morning, Dr. Adams.
Good morning, everybody. Glad to be back.
Well, good to have you with us. We have you here every Friday, and this Friday, no exception. We want to talk to you about a piece you wrote, and from what I understand, this piece was inspired by a Prince song?
Yes. Sign of the Times.
Nice.
I have that album, actually. You know, not the CD, the album.
I think I have that album too, Todd.
That is one of my favorite albums. So tell me about your inspiration for that and the piece itself.
Okay, I was invited to participate in the Purple Legend Poetry Show. It was hosted by Savannah Blue Art and Outreach with the Houston Public Library. And so we were asked to pick a piece that inspired us creatively. And so I picked that song because it spoke to me about, you know, the realities of life today that we're living in that kind of reflected my life or our lives back in the 70s when I was growing up. So that's why I picked that piece.
Well, let's hear the piece if you want to go ahead and get started, and we'll give it a listen.
Okay. So this piece is called Living in the Future Today. And I kind of gave you the intro already. And if you remember, April the 21st, 2016, the world was filled with purple rain because we lost Prince Rogers Nelson that day. It was the day we heard doves cry. And so I picked this song and it spoke to me. And so this is called Living in the Future Today. So Nathan, you can go ahead and run that music. HIV, AIDS running free. My brother Ronnie died of this disease in 1993. Cocaine, ecstasy, LSD, PCP, people wasting away, living in the future today. Winds fall from the sky, innocent people die. Earthquakes, wildfires, hurricanes, clouds filled with acid rain, destitution, air pollution, weather kills, global warming is real, a world melting away. living in the future today. Crime on the rise, our demise, crowded jails, life in prison, a living hell, potential locked away, living in the future today. Gun violence, silence, another brother dead, people running scared, police brutality, a reality, a country up in arms, no police reform, demonstrations, retaliations, assassinations. Can we mend relations? What a price to pay, living in the future today. Human trafficking, sex abuse, drug use, domestic violence, hunger, poverty, our ecology, children left alone, single parent homes, immigrations, deportation. We can't live this way, living in the future today. Crowded schools, no rules, dropout rates at an all-time high, education soon to die. Tell me why, oh why, we can't learn this way, living in the future today. Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, Vietnam, Operation Desert Storm, nuclear weapons in the air, terrorism everywhere, ISIS, crisis, peace, array, living in the future today. Epidemic, pandemic, COVID-19, people quarantined, disease spreading, where are we heading? Mankind at risk. If the virus spreads, will we cease to exist? Apocalypse, genocide. Are we living in a world destined to die? Tell me why, oh why? It's a sign of the time. Hear what I say. We're living in the future today. Thank you.
Dr. Jimmy Adams, incredible piece. And I know, like this piece, you originally performed this back in 2017, but I imagine, like you do with a lot of your pieces, you go back and you revise them to bring them up to date. But it's certainly pertinent to today's times.
It is. I mean, this is just like when I started to write this, it was just like I was living back, you know, when I was growing up. And then if you look at where we are today, we're living in an environment, in this COVID environment, but a lot of these issues, you know, police brutality, sex trafficking, AIDS, drug abuse, you know, all of those things kind of get lost because we're so focused on one issue that we're dealing with today. So a lot of times, my work kind of tries to bring back the reality and the awareness about what is not being said out there right now.
Doctor,
go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, just walk me through your creative process when you're writing a poem, because that's very emotionally jarring to a lot of people. So like when you're writing it, like do you have to take breaks in between? Like what kind of mental exercises do you do to prepare yourself to write a poem of that nature?
I don't know. I think I reflect back on my experiences, and it's, like I told you, one of my idol was Maya Angelou. And so a lot of times I go into my closet, usually I take my Bible, and I take my thesaurus and I just kind of concentrate. But it's just, a lot of times it's the things that are going on around me. And as I start to, as I start to write, it's like this out of body thing. It's more of a spiritual kind of connection. It's almost like I'm not writing this. It is something I needed to write, based on, I put God in a lot of the stuff that I do. And so it's driven by that. And it's, I just, I've been through a lot, I've lived through a lot, and I just tried to be that voice to say things other people won't say. And so that's my creative process. I don't really have one. It's just when things affect me, I just start to write, and I pull it together that way. I have my own style, as you can kind of see, and so I just try to stay in my style. I like to rhyme a little bit, but I also like to tell a story, and then I also like to give hope as you get toward the end, because we can go through these things, but there are also ways out. And being a spiritual person, I connect to that, and because I think that's where we have to reach, to this higher power to get us through these issues, especially where we are today. So.
Very well said. Dr. Adams, the song was inspired by a Prince song, "Sign of the Times." Had you ever had a chance to see Prince live?
Man, no, I didn't, but I sure have seen him a lot on TV.
Yeah.
And I think the most memorable one was the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Out there in the rain. That was it for me, man. I wish I could have met him. It would have been great. Him and Michael Jackson.
I never got a chance to see Michael Jackson live, but I just did see Prince once
You
back
did?
in the 80s. Yeah, I saw him back in the 80s, not on the Purple Rain tour, but the tour he had afterwards. I believe it was promoting this album, but man, it was incredible. And people don't realize he was one of the most phenomenal guitar players that I've ever seen. Incredible.
Look that.
Yeah, they kind of overlooked that because he was such a masterful artist himself. Dr. Jimmy Adams, we appreciate you being here today. We look forward to seeing you again next Friday and every Friday here on Up to the Minute. Thanks for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. I love communicating and sharing my thoughts with y'all. And hopefully it uplifts and brings some awareness to a lot of things we're dealing with today. So thank y'all.
Thank you. And Dr. Adams' piece will be available in the comments section we will make it available in our social media post for the show. So look for that later. We want to move on and talk about one of our programs right now. We've got Minnie Jenkins joining us right now from across town. And Minnie, you are the program director for adult education and the literacy program. But you're here. Tell us a bit about the adult high school, because I believe that falls under your program as well.
Good morning again, Todd, and thank you, Dr. Adams. That was an awesome spoken word. It really did resonate with me, and I truly appreciate it. And I think I'm going to start tuning in.
We always love to have more viewers. We welcome you here.
I am the program manager for Adult High School, which sits under the umbrella of Adult Education and Literacy. Adult High School began back when ACC was a vocational school, which we call Career and Technological School now. It was designed to help individuals that needed credit recovery. So it was like a night school. And as you can see, we've evolved. Now we are more hands-on, and we're also hybrid. We started hybrid about 2 years ago. One of the things that we use is online and face-to-face for individuals that can't get to our campus. And we service throughout the Houston Metroplex area.
And let's talk about what credit recovery is. Talk about achieving, is this involved in a GED program? How does that work?
No, sir. Credit recovery we service high school students. So if a student, for example, is taking English 2A, and for whatever reason they did not pass it during the school year, they come to us and they are able to receive that credit by taking that course and some of that material again. All of our classes are taught by certified teachers, and we work with counselors, again, throughout the Houston Metroplex area to get that student into the correct class so that they can pass.
And this would keep students on target if they want to graduate on time or need to get out by a certain time. Is that correct?
That is correct. Also, we have original credit programs for students that are, especially in this time of uncertainty, students that are wishing to graduate early. And we have so many parents that are calling and thanking us for that opportunity, which is attend today, finish before May. That registration is August 3rd through September 9th. Our classes do start on September 12th, and they are all online.
I've heard from a few parents with their kids in high school that, they're not really sure about where things are going. Maybe they're not pleased with the online instruction delivery with the particular high school. And they've talked about wanting, and I've talked to 2 separate parents who wanted to get their child to maybe graduate earlier. Would this be a program they could get involved in to help their child if they want to get them graduating earlier and get off to college?
Most definitely, Todd. And one of the things I'd like to add is with our teachers, it's not just online. The creativity that our teachers are using is just phenomenal. There's so much animation. There is more hands-on. They also provide an opportunity to work one-on-one with those students. So if there is an opportunity for that student to graduate early, which is what we're seeing right now, we have a lot of students and parents taking advantage of that. They come in, we get them set up, and we identify if this student is disciplined enough. If we see where that student's not, we reach out to that parent and we let them know in advance, maybe we need to take a step back or go a different route. Because the goal is to get them graduated, but also to make sure that they are successful.
And so my next question was going to be along the line of what you were just telling me now. Are you seeing more parents now, because of the age of COVID, that are maybe wanting to get their high school child graduating earlier than normal?
Yes, we are. Actually, our enrollment doubled this summer.
Wow.
Opportunity to host 2 different sessions. And we also had what is called fast track, allowing students to finish a bulk of assignments in a shorter period of time. So this was very easy for parents because it's like, wait a minute, they can finish this only in this amount of time. So it worked out awesomely.
Let's talk about who qualifies for this and how they would qualify. If I'm a parent and I've got a high school child that I'm thinking, this online learning isn't working, we might as well get them through as fast as possible and move them on to the next level. What would be the way they would go to enroll in this, and how would they qualify? Is there a cost? How does it work?
Yes, there is a cost associated with it. For every half a credit for credit recovery, it is $175. Again, a half a credit for credit recovery, $175. For original credit, meaning the student has never taken that class, don't know any material about it, that is $275. To enroll, they would simply go to AHS, that's adult high school, at hccs.edu. We also have a form that is filled out by their counselor. That counselor is that initial contact because they're the ones that are viewing the transcripts to make sure that that student needs that course.
And tell me about some of the dates that people would remember. If somebody's watching this, do they still have time to enroll their child in the fall?
Yes. Again, those dates are August the 3rd through September the 9th. Classes start September the 12th. Again, that is August the 3rd through September the 9th, and classes start September the 12th. And in the fall, all of our classes are on Saturday and Sunday. Saturdays between 8 and noon, and Sundays 1 and 5.
And I know we're all.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. We're all going to be online, at least for the next 6 weeks, taking us into possibly October. Is this going to affect the adult high school? And would you, if things are loosened in October, are you planning on having face-to-face instruction on limited basis, or is it completely online?
We are likely to stay completely online because, again, these are high schoolers. So I don't think it would be advantageous for us to disrupt anything. And a parent pretty much likes to keep things in routine. So we have 2 different sessions. We have a session starting from September that goes all the way through October, and then a second session. So that would give us plenty of time to see if we have the opportunity to be able to get back on campus, because we are limited to X amount of students per classroom.
And I would imagine some of these courses may have a lab component that students would need to get in a limited fashion in the future as well.
Correct. For example, if it's a chemistry course, then that is a course that we will look at to being on campus and being able to work with that, collaboratively with that campus manager to make sure that we are meeting or not exceeding that student population count as we get into the classroom. Because right now it's just 9 students per class. So that would play a significant role in as whether we go back on campus or still be online.
And I guess the thing we want to establish is the difference between what you're doing and the dual credit program, because the dual credit program is to earn college credits while you're attending high school, but your program is to help students who maybe want to accelerate their high school experience, especially now, to graduate earlier.
Yes, that is an awesome question, and we do get confused with dual credit a lot, and we're two totally separate programs. Adult high school is simply geared towards students that are trying to obtain credit recovery or original credit so that they can graduate early.
Absolutely. Minnie, Jenkins, we appreciate you joining us here and keeping us up to date with the adult high school. Frank, that sounds like a great program. It would have been great, if you want to graduate early.
Trust me, if I knew that way back in 2002, I would have went that route for sure.
I know. I would have jumped on this too, man. I could have got out a semester earlier. I could have been at the Galveston while all my friends were in classes. That's what I had in mind back then.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And guys, please enjoy your weekend and stay safe.
Thank you, Minnie. We appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right, Frank Cooper. Frank, it sounds like a great program, and I really wasn't aware of everything that they were doing in the adult high school, but it is perfect, especially now, because as I mentioned, I've met two parents over the last couple of months who've told me the same thing. Look, this online learning isn't working for high school. One of them has a student who's like a star football player, and football is being shut down. They're talking about playing in January for this district. And the parent was saying, look, I don't know if I want my child playing in January because they could get hurt and that could ruin their college playing career. So there are a lot of things. And he even talked about the fact that he wanted his child to graduate early. So maybe taking these accelerated courses would be perfect for him.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, this is a great way to save time and money and get ahead, because like people don't understand how much college costs. So if I can get ahead of the curve and prepare myself for my college career 6 months, 8 months in advance, why not go that option?
Right. Well, we're going to move on to some HCC news and information, some announcements. One thing that's pretty exciting, Frank, our student services is now opening up a Zoom room.
Yeah, so for those students who are potential students who want to register or are kind of antsy or nervous about doing it in person, we do have a Zoom room right now. Student services deploys several plans to help prepare for the fall registration, but one is probably the most exciting. It's a live Zoom lobby. So people can go on there. Zoom allows for student-staff interaction, live student-staff interaction during extended hours, when students can easily access the Zoom lobby or by making a phone call. We have the info in both our social media updates coming up. And they operate.
That's right. Go ahead, Frank.
Oh, and operating for Zoom Monday through Thursday will be from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Friday 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So guys, if you can't get in during the week, we have weekend options. We have extended hours on the weekends as well. So we'll put a graphic up on social media so you guys can get the info.
That's right. Now, keep in mind dates for the new fall schedule. The chancellor announced last week some things were going to be changing in a way. August 24th, the semester still begins on August 24th, but all classes will meet remotely for the first 6 weeks. They'll be online. September 28th, faculty for in-person classes return to campus to prepare for instruction in person. October 5th is the target date for flex campus and lab-based courses to begin. We, of course, will provide updates all along the way. So key to keep in mind, classes still start on the 24th. For the first several weeks leading into October 5th, we're going to be completely online to make sure we all stay safe and keep this COVID situation at bay, at least for now, Frank.
Absolutely. I mean, we're doing our due diligence to make sure people are safe and sound. We're not putting anybody in any uncomfortable situations.
And when you do return to campus, things are going to look a lot different. And if you're wondering what it's going to look like, there are going to be some screenings going into a campus. You're going to see some ways that you're supposed to walk a certain way, exit a certain way, all to minimize contact and to provide for social distancing. We've got a video in social media. You can find it on our Facebook page. You can also find it on our YouTube channel. That'll show you some new options for the fall, or I should say some new practices that are taking place place on our campuses for the fall. So look for that. And I would suggest arrive a little bit early for your classes because there'll be some things that'll be different on campuses. We still have, Frank, 4 HCC drive-through testing sites. 2 of them are ones that you don't have to register ahead.
Yeah, so the first 2 on the south side of town, so the Felix Braga campus and the east side campus, both southeast sites are open from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. this week, Monday through Friday. No appointment is needed for those 2 locations. The other 2 locations are HCC Northeast Campus and HCC South Campus. Both of these campuses are open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. And
you need to call and register for that one.
Exactly. I don't see a number on here.
I got it right here, 512-883-2400. But don't worry, we'll have it in the post for this show as well, so you'll find it there. HCC Foundation scholarship deadline's approaching, and I know a lot of our students, Frank, are needing some funding or a little bit extra funding to get through into the fall, maybe something to supplement their financial aid. Apply for a scholarship.
Exactly. So, but applications for them closes August 31st. All right. So, this foundation scholarship applications for the 2020-21 year, and it is still open. For more information about that and to get to the scholarship page, is hccs.edu/hccsfoundation.org/scholarships.
So let's see, if you are taking classes in the fall, you'll need to register for some weekly enrollment information sessions, okay? Take one of them. We're having them every week. The next session is Wednesday, August the 5th, 2 to 3 p.m. You can register there at hccs.edu/informationsessions. And today, Frank, is the last day to submit your activity for the Rec Sports virtual walk and run. How many miles do you have this week, Frank?
I did 2 miles this morning. I've done 11 miles so far this week.
11. Oh, that's pretty cool. All right. So Frank is leading the pack right now.
I'm trying to go on your level. I'm thinking about getting a cycle. I want to get on your level, man, and do these marathon cycles in the morning, man.
Well, if we ever get back to anything normal where we can meet in person, I might be able to hook you up with a bike because I think I've got an extra bike that I'm not using. It's a pretty cool bike and you're welcome to use it. So we'll talk later on about that, but I think I can hook you up there.
ACC audience, you heard that, right? That's timestamp. You say he got me.
We got you, Frank. I think we can help you out there. But today is the last day to submit your activity levels to Rec Sports Virtual Walk Run. You get to the event started last Friday, so if you didn't register, unless you're going to run like 30 miles today, don't worry about it. But anyway, you can submit your walking and running by noon today, Friday, July 31st. Email it to roy.byers@hccs.edu. Subject line: July Virtual Walk Run. So that wraps up today's show. But next week, Frank, we've got some cool guests coming up.
We do. So we have a Shark Tank, ACC style Shark Tank ideas pitch competition, and members Dr. Daniel Stagg will be here.
Danielle Stagg, yep.
East Speech Department as well, and then also we have Brittany will be back next week as well. In full swing. And then what else do we have here next week?
Well, we've got a scholarship winner from the competition who will share their award-winning pitch with us. I actually had a chance to host that competition. It was a couple of weeks ago on a Saturday, and it was pretty cool. So if you like Shark Tank, tune in next week. We've got the winner of the competition, and we'll meet with them. Brittany will be back on Monday, but you're coming back. You're on what, Tuesdays and Fridays now?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so Frank will be back next week. We'll get him on the show, and then we'll talk more about hooking him up with a bike in the future as well, because he's going to start running and biking. We're going to get him swimming, and he's going to do a triathlon with me.
The 2021 Olympics is what I'm shooting for, man. I'm trying to be the all-world Olympian, man. All
right. Well, I've been looking to move into coaching, so I think we can work that out. So. All right, folks, thanks for joining us up to minute. Frank, good to see you again. Thanks for being here.
It was a pleasure, Todd. Thank you for having me, man. Great job, Nathan, man. Nathan is our all-world producer, man. He does a great job of moving pieces around for the show, man. So shout out to Nathan as well.
He is behind the scenes running the show for us. We appreciate all the work he does. Hey, thank you for joining us. And Up to the Minute, we'll be back Monday morning. Brittany will be back. Frank will be back next week as well. But we want you to be back as well, 10 a.m. live right here on Up to the Minute.